Happy Monday. 10 more real estate test questions. We're back in the lab. We haven't been in the lab in a while. Today we have 10 more real estate exam questions to practice. The way it works is I take the exam just like you would. It's a little mini quiz. I don't know the answers. I don't know the questions. Hopefully I do better than last week. Last week I got 1 out of 10 correct. I swear I know a little bit, but this week we're gonna go for at least 70%. Come on, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you want more test questions, more test vocab, more real estate concepts. And if you want to pass the test in 2025, now we're going to 2026. This is the channel for you. Now let's get into the questions. All right, here we go. It's the real estate sales test. This is national plus California. It's not only California. If you guys clicked on the link from a different state, it's okay. This is also national. And we're doing the transfer of property. So, question 1, a standard form of title insurance policy does not protect against loss resulting from A, encroachment on the property, B, lack of capacity of the grantor, C, forgery in the chain of title, D, liens and encumbrances of record. A standard form of title insurance. It should cover that. It should cover that. Lack of capacity of the grantor. I'm guessing it covers that. I'm going to say encroachment, maybe. Correct. All right, 1 for 1, guys. Here's the explanation. Title insurance protects anything of public record. Anything not of public record is not covered. A forgery in the chain of title is protected as the title insurance company is ensuring that all previous documents are valid. An encroachment is the intrusion of a physical object onto the property and would be disclosed by a survey, not a title search. Next question, question 2. Standard title insurance covers A, all title defects, B, unrecorded title defects, C, recorded title defects, D, defects disclosed by a competent survey. So we just got this one is all recorded. Correct. Here's the explanation. Standard title insurance will cover only those defects which could be found by search of the public records. Guarantee or extended title insurance would cover non-disclosed defects of record and survey defects. 2 for 2. Good start today. Question 3, a written instrument transferring the grantor's ownership of or interest in real property is known as A, easement, B, mortgage, C, title, D, deed. So it's title or deed. We have to know the difference between those. This is a really big subject on the real estate exam, is knowing the difference between title and deed. I'm just going to go with title since we've got a bunch of title questions already, but I could be wrong. Incorrect. Okay, we don't know the difference. Here's the explanation. An easement is the right acquired by one person to use the land of another for a specific purpose. So that's easement here. Title refers to the actual ownership of a property. That's title. Deed is not a title. A deed is a written instrument transferring the grantor's ownership of or interest in real property known as, that's what the deed is. So the title is the actual ownership. The deed is the written instrument transferring. The deed is the transfer. All right, next question. Question 4. The complete history of the ownership of property is referred to as A, the guarantee of title, B, the certificate of title, C, the chain of title, D, the abstract of title. I think it's the chain of title or the abstract of title. I want to go with the abstract of title because I know the chain just seems too easy. Incorrect. Okay, I got tricked by myself. Here's the explanation. Each instrument likened to the link in a chain, an accepted expression. The history is a chain. All right, next question. The successive conveyances affecting a particular parcel of land arranged consecutively from the original source of ownership to the present day owner is called A, certificate of title, B, abstract of title, C, estoppel certificate, D, chain of title. This might be the abstract of title. Let's check it. Incorrect. It's still the chain of title. Here's the explanation. From the original source to the present owner, a certificate of title, also known as an opinion letter, is a statement issued by an attorney as to who presently owns the title. An estoppel certificate is a document used by a lender to lock in the principal amount that is still owed by a borrower to a seller each year. An abstract of title is a compilation of all the deeds, liens, mortgages, and any other documents recorded on behalf of each and every owner of real property put in a history book form. That's why I get confused, because it's the history, but it's the history of the deeds, liens, and mortgages. It's not the conveyances. All right, next question. The promise in a deed that the seller is the owner of the property and the buyer has the right to possess it is known as A, covenant of quiet enjoyment, B, covenant of warranty forever, C, covenant of cession, D, covenant against liens and encumbrances. I don't think it's quiet enjoyment. Warranty forever seems kind of sus. I don't know what cession is, and so I think it's C or D. I'm gonna go with D. Incorrect. Cession. Here's what cession means. A promise or agreement of possession under a legal right is the covenant of cession. The covenant of quiet enjoyment states that no other person will claim right or title through the grantor. The covenant of warranty forever states that the grantor warrants the other covenants contained in the deed forever and will defend the new owner against defects in title. All right, guys, we're a little more than halfway. If you guys want your own study test questions, I have partnered up with the website called Colibri. It is the current website that we're using right now. This is their CompuCram study test question portion. It's very helpful. If you want your own, click the link below. I partnered up with Colibri. Like I said, they have offered us 40% off everything on the website. It's pretty cheap. Use the code BURKE40, B-U-R-K-E 40. Get 40% off. You can also get your prerequisite courses and help support the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get back to the questions. Question 7, the most complete title protection is offered by A, standard title policy, B, an extended coverage policy, C, an abstract of title, D, a certificate of title. The most complete title protection, I would say it may be an extended coverage because the standard, a certificate. Correct. Here's the explanation. In addition to the standard policy coverage, an extended policy offers protection against unrecorded liens. Abstracts and certificates of title reflect an attorney's opinion regarding the condition of the title and carry no guarantee. All right. Question 8. We got 3 more questions, guys. A buyer contracts to purchase a $75,000 home and puts up an earnest money deposit of $1,500. The commission is 5% paid by seller. The buyer gets a $260 credit for real property taxes paid in arrears. A buyer obtains an 80% conventional loan at 12% interest with 3 points. What amount should the buyer bring to closing? All right, we know that there's no math on the California exam. I've had multiple comments and multiple people tell me there's no math. But we can try to work this out a little bit. So they put 20% down. So we do 75,000 times 20%, right? So we'll do that, 0.2, 15,000, okay? The earnest money deposit is part of that. They can use that. The commission is 5% by the seller, so that doesn't matter. The buyer gets 260 credit, so that, well, let's I think we're minus 260 on that. But if you buy 3 points, what is it, 1% of the total cost is a point, or 1% of the loan. So 750 times 3, 14,740, 750 times 3 plus 14,740, 16,990. I think 16,540 is going to be the closest. I don't know if this is right. I'm just kind of following along with what I kind of know. Incorrect. It was 15,040. Okay, let's go over it. Okay, this is where I got wrong. An 80% loan of 75,000 is a loan for 60,000. 3 points of 60,000 or 3% equals 1,800. So 600 times 3, he gets a credit for 260 for taxes and credit for 1,500 for his earnest money deposit, reducing the amount to closing to 15,040 down payment plus closing. The seller, not the buyer, paid the real estate commission. All right, question 9. The seizing of property by court order as security for a debt or judgment is known as A, alienation, B, capitalization, C, encumbrance, D, attachment. I actually want to say attachment. There was a question last week that was similar. Correct. Okay, we're learning. We learned from last week. Here's the explanation. The seizing of property by court order is called an attachment. Usually the property is attached to be sold at public auction to satisfy a judgment. All right, last question. Question 10. Thanks for joining us this Monday. We'll be back next Monday. Let's get into the question. What clause would the lender enforce if the borrower transferred their interest in the property to someone else? A, alienation. B, subject to clause. C, acceleration. D, assumption clause. What clause would the lender enforce if the borrower transferred their interest in the property to someone else? I want to say subject to, but I could be wrong here. Incorrect. Alienation clause. A lender may call the entire note due when there is a transfer by enforcing the alienation clause. All right, I think we did better on that one. This one also includes the first ones, the missed questions that we had. I think there was like 3 of them. So I think I got 7. I think we hit our goal of 7 out of 10. Join me back in the lab. All right, back in the lab. Thanks so much for watching. Join me next week, next Monday. Every week, we have weekly videos of test questions, vocab, real estate concepts. We'll be doing a live stream soon of 150 test questions. Subscribe to the channel if you want more. Thank you guys again for watching. We're going to pass the real estate exam. I don't know if it's going to be 2025 anymore. We've been delaying it. I know. I'm sorry. But thank you guys again for watching. Have a nice day.